On an American flag covering the side of the building where the plane struck.
We remember September 11th as if it were yesterday, and we remember every life lost.
FBI Director Christopher Wray speaking in Northern Virginia Friday. President Biden will visit all 3 sites of the attacks today, but make no remarks. Presidents Bush and Obama will also attend events. President Biden wants to make all businesses with 100 or more employees require their staff to get vaccinated or get tested weekly. Republican governors are threatening lawsuits.
I think our governors can take care of the situations in their own states. They will make the call that is right for their states.
Iowa Republican Senator Joni Ernst on America Reports. Fewer than half of Americans are still unvaccinated. America is listening to Fox News.
Your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast is brought to you by Hancock's Neighborhood Market.
Your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast, 87 and a beautiful sunny today with gusts of wind as high as 20 miles an hour. Do be careful for this afternoon and this evening as lake wind advisory is in effect until 6 o'clock tonight. Mostly clear with a low around 65 as we get into tonight. Then Sunday, sunny with a high near 90. Sunday night, clear with a low around 65. And then Monday, beautiful start to the week, sunny with a high near 90.
The WPKY Saturday Morning Quarterback Show is on the air on 1580, 103.3 WPKY, and WPKYOnline.com. Time to take a look back at last night's Caldwell game. Here's your host, Todd Griffin.
Good morning, everyone. This is the Saturday Morning Quarterback Show here on WPKY. Big win for the Tigers last night down at Crittenden County, 9-0 the final score. Caldwell County evening its record at 2-2 on the season, and we've got a full studio of coaches in with us this morning to talk about it. Will Barnes is here, Wayne McGowan, Bradley Stallings, Jeff Riley all with us, and Will, first of all, a big win for you guys last night.
Yeah, it was, and we knew going down there would be a tough game, and it was a physical, hard-nosed football game, and proud of our kids' effort, playing 4 quarters, and obviously defensively played a really, really good game, and it was just enough offensively to win the game. So, that's the whole the objective of the game is to score more than the other team, and if 9 points is good enough, then that's all that matters.
Well, Wayne, if your defense is going to hold them to 0, it makes it a little easier, doesn't it?
Absolutely. If they can't score, you have a great chance to win. So, we were very fortunate to, pull that game out. Like Coach Barnes said, it's a tough, physical game. And, our kids stepped up in times they needed to step up and made plays.
Well, 2 years in a row now you've thrown the shutout against Crittenden County.
Yeah, that's nice. Anytime you can keep, anyone from scoring. Your odds of winning are very good.
Again, 9-0 the final score. Jeff, what were kind of your thoughts on the game from last night?
Well, I thought kind of the same thing everybody else thinks. I think 9's enough to win. We'll take it. And ugly win is better than a pretty loss. And, being physical and knocking everybody around was nice. I thought we still have a lot of stuff we can work on to get better. And I thought we played well enough to win. We're able to get the we talked about being opportunistic and getting balls when they're on the ground and being aggressive to the football this week. So I think our kids did that pretty much. I think they were motivated and played hard for 4 quarters. So I think we got a little building block there to kind of move forward on.
Bradley, how did it look up top?
I think Jeff and Wayne and Will pretty much summed it up. Ugly L's better than, or an ugly W's better than a pretty L. And, all wins are pretty. And I thought our defense, they bowed their back several times, especially in the 4th quarter. That field goal there at the end was huge. It changed Crittenden County's whole what you have to do to win a ball game there in the 4th quarter, how you're going to call plays and how you're going to attack us. And I just thought our defense did a good job. I think our offense did enough to win, obviously. But, there's things we have to work on. There's better executions we have to be successful at on the offensive end. We had some big plays that were there last night. We just a little bit away from connecting there, and when we do, we're going to be we're right there. I mean, we're there. We just have to keep working, and our kids are. I thought they played 4 quarters last night of hard-nosed football, and it was a win.
Yeah. Big 9-0 win down at Crittenden County. We're going to talk about it more as we continue on the Saturday morning quarterback show. Stay with us here at 1580, 103.3 WPKY.
Caldwell Medical Associates' new Catawba Orthopedic Clinic is your one-stop shop for orthopedic care. Our team of medical professionals can diagnose and treat a wide range of orthopedic care and get you back on the path to a happier, healthier you. Whether you need basic fracture care or osteoporosis management, a sports physical, or back pain treatment, we've got you covered. To learn more or to schedule an appointment with an orthopedic provider, visit caldwellmedical.com.
Enjoy your favorite Mexican food at La Potosina Mexican Restaurant. They're open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. until 9 p.m., offering up all your favorite authentic Mexican dishes for lunch and dinner. Now you pair your favorite meal with your favorite margarita. Enjoy dining in or call in for carryout. Call 270-365-3848 to place your order. They appreciate your business and are ready to serve you in a safe atmosphere. That's La Potosina Mexican Restaurant,
Princeton and Marion.
Hello, I'm Jason Redford, Community President, First Southern National Bank. When First Southern National Bank says we believe in you, it means we also believe certain things about you. We believe that you want to live a life of margin, where you can balance spending, saving, and giving. We believe that you want to make wise financial decisions to enable that kind of living. Because we believe in you, we are here for you every step of the way. Visit fsmb.net to learn more. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
As a community-owned enterprise, the Princeton Electric Plant Board provides services to the people in the Princeton area. One of the services they provide is to make sure the lights are on over our fields and courts for our Caldwell County Tigers. From everyone at the Princeton Electric Plant Board, good luck to all the Caldwell County Tigers and hopes for a safe season. And a big electric roar to their Tigers, Preston Burrell, Addie Vincent, and Lily Horde.
Raider Auction Company is owned and operated by Delbert Raider. Delbert has been in the agricultural field for over 40 years and is well known for his knowledge of used equipment. Raider Auction holds 4 consignment auctions a year, and they buy and sell equipment on a daily basis. If you're looking for a piece of equipment, they'll do their best to locate it, and financing is available. Contact Delbert Raider at 270-881-2610 or Amy Ezel at 270-604-2880 for all your used equipment needs. Raider Auction Company, Skyline Drive.
Trice Hughes has been serving Western Kentucky for over 60 years. Their experienced sales force, ASE certified techs, and all the friendly folks at Trice Hughes have worked to become your family's exclusive automotive dealer. The home team that's kept our families safe on the road for generations. From work to play and everything in between, your home team has what you need. Stop by and drive the difference. Our home team, Trice Hughes, Highway 91 North in Princeton.
Get into shape and feel good at Trilogy Performance Sports. Trilogy offers a wide range of family-friendly classes as well as personal training, yoga, gymnastics, sports training, cardio, and weightlifting. Trilogy has something for everyone. Trilogy now offers an app with online workouts, live classes, nutrition tracking, and more. Search Trilogy Performance Sports in your app store. Use sign-up code 1824. For app info and more, follow them on Facebook.
The wait is over. The regular season begins tomorrow. Your 2021 Tennessee Titans take the field to host the Arizona Cardinals at Nissan Stadium. Titans Countdown presented by Farm Bureau Health Plan starts at 11. Every snap and every play is called by the voice of the Titans, Mike Keith, and Coach Dave McGinnis with a kickoff set for noon.
Your official home for Titans football is here. 106.5 WKTZ.
The Saturday Morning Quarterback Show continues on WPKY. Here's your host, Todd Griffin.
9-0, the Caldwell County Tigers knocking off the Crittenden County Rockets last night in Marion. Caldwell County 2-2 on the season. So a big day here in Princeton today. Not just all the black patch stuff going on, but we get to celebrate another win.
Yeah, it makes the weekend a little more enjoyable and a little better, and it's a little easier to watch film, and when we get in on Monday, the kids will be excited. So always good to win. 12
straight now for the Tigers over the Rockets. Caldwell County leading the all-time series 44-10 over Crittenden County, but that's a long rivalry, and there's been some pretty tight games, and last night was another one, and you had to know going down there, though, that was going to be just a physical battle between the two teams.
Yeah, we knew that, and defensively, we really brought great energy and effort, and they're not a bad offensive team. They've got a couple of weapons. They're pretty decent up front, and they've got a good quarterback. So you hold those guys to 0 points, that's a pretty good effort.
Laney, what was kind of the defensive game plan going into that one?
Absolutely making sure we took care of their passing game. Watching those guys on film, these Crider kids, he slings it around pretty good, and Morganson kid's pretty tough. So, we knew coming in we had to, really be aware of where people were on the field. Their screen game is pretty good screen game, and I thought for the most part we did that. We pretty much, kept the ball in front of us on pass plays. Nobody really got beat over the top or anything, or sucked up on the screen and, just let somebody run past you. So we were pretty smart on the back end on doing that.
Crittenden didn't get hardly anything in the run game.
Absolutely. Those 3 down guys up front, starts with those guys, and, we put a lot on their shoulders to, set the tone for us and be the leaders out there defensively for us. And, I thought, not watching film yet, I thought they played pretty well. I thought our linebackers did a pretty good job. Outside linebackers, I thought, we've been trying to preach to those guys to be more physical on slot receivers. We walked them down and play a little bit closer to the receiver and just try to physically get our hands on those guys and knock them off routes. And I thought we did a pretty good job of that as well.
Well, our stats had Crittenden with -5 yards rushing. So anytime you can hold somebody to minus yardage, it's a pretty good night for the guys up front.
Dang, I didn't even know that stat, but yeah, that's a testament to those kids. They worked their tails off this week and went down with the attitude of wanting to get after those guys, and they apparently did.
Bradley, you played in some of those Caldwell-Crittenden games. What were kind of some of your memories of those? And last night was kind of another physical matchup.
It was physical. Just as far as those memories we played, it was always fun because you knew there was going to be a big crowd, and there was again last night. Both communities kind of rally around that game, and it's always fun, and I think our kids enjoy that atmosphere. It's always fun to play a football game in front of a packed house, and it's been a while since we've been able to do that because of all the corona stuff. But we challenged. I think Jeff and Laney and Will and Coach Barnes would say the same thing, and Josh. We kind of challenged our kids this week a little bit, all week long, about being a little more physical than what we've been, and they kind of answered the tone last night. That was kind of evident in that -5 rushing yards, and that was impressive. And I'm proud, and I know the rest of all of us are too, about the way the kids answered that bell. We kind of got in them a little bit at practice, and they answered, and that's a sign of a team that's getting a little more mature as we go along, and that's a good thing.
Yeah. Jeff, you've kind of seen this rivalry from a lot of different perspectives now.
Yeah, I have. I've played in some of these games too. I was just on the other side.
Well, that's all right. That gives you that different perspective to look at.
Yeah, the thing is, from what I remember 20 years ago from being over there, it is a big game. When I come to Caldwell, it's not as quite a big as I think Trigg County has that for us, being that #1 game that the community, really, really wants to win. But, then when you get into the Crittenden County ties and it takes some time to understand how big a game Caldwell is for Crittenden County. And I think our kids have got a grasp of that now. And, those guys have, because sometimes when it's one-sided, it's it's not a lot of rivalry, when it's just been really one-sided. So, we are in a pretty historic run in that side of that thing, so it's kind of tough sometimes to keep their kids be like, well, Crittenden County has the possibility of beating you if you don't play well, and I think they bought into that for us this week and kind of carried the tone. And Crittenden's been good the last 3 or 4 years, and so that's kind of helped it out too. So,
well, and we kind of found out this week, at least I did. I'm not sure how long this has been out there, but they said last night that this was probably the last time that Caldwell County and Crittenden would meet on the field there, that the new high school was going to go in that place, and that they'd build a new football stadium.
Yeah, I heard it. I heard it when you heard it.
Yeah.
I knew that it had been in the works. I know people had talked about, doing some different things and kind of building a new high school and doing some renovating and adding to some facilities. I know Mr. Clark's probably, excited about that opportunity. And, I have a lot of personal high school memories on that field. It's kind of sad, when something like that historic that you have some emotional feeling to gets changed, but you can't hold back progress. And, they definitely could use an upgrade in facilities, and that's hopefully, it's good for them and the community and the kids if they can get that done.
There was always such a great atmosphere there, though, because, there's not a track around the field or anything. The stands are right there off the field, so if you go watch a game, you're right there in the action, and if you're playing, everybody's just kind of surrounding you.
Yeah, it is a good place to watch a game. I don't, just because you are on top of the action. I know, I've watched a few there, too, and, I always enjoy, I'm kind of sitting on the visitor side. I think the visitor side's a little bit better because you're not as compact, and you can just sit over there and sit on the hill and kind of wander up and down with the ball. Yeah. It's almost like being on the sideline. So it is a pretty good place to watch.
Well, and I think the new facility is supposed to have a track around it, so maybe, always great to improve things, but sometimes you kind of lose things in the process too.
Yeah, I think a track will definitely take away from that closeness. You're not as on top of the action as you would have been, but they need that. Their track's been at the park, and I think most school people will tell you they'd like to have most of their stuff on campus. It just kind of makes it a little, just makes it a little more convenient for everybody. If you facility-wise, you can have locker rooms and everything all right there. So maybe they can get that taken care of. I hope they do for them. That'd be a little bit of an upgrade there, and hopefully they'll get a better visitors locker room too.
Agreed.
Amen.
Second.
Third.
9-0 was the final score last night. Caldwell County over Crittenden County down in Marion. And Will, what was kind of practice like last week as you guys prepared for this game?
Early in the week, we kind of set the tone like Coach Sounds was talking about, and didn't feel like we tackled real well last week, and did some things and more. Did probably a little more hitting than we've done in a long time during the week. So I think that showed up this week. I felt like we tackled better. We got to the ball better. And when you do those things, you can play pretty good defense. So that was something I think that carried over to the game Friday. And, there was some comments out there that we weren't very physical. And, I think Logan Smiley took some of that to heart, that he maybe wasn't as good as some of the other backs that Crittenden had played. And if you flip the film on, I think, you can see that that's not true. So proud of those guys and proud of our kids' effort. Had a pretty good week of practice, but that's sometimes you have good weeks of practice and you show up Friday and don't really play well, and sometimes it goes the other way. So it was I thought we had a pretty good week of practice, a really good Thursday, and that carried over to Friday. So if we can continue to do that, we'll continue to get better, and we'll have a chance to compete in this district.
Well, looking at the stats from last night, our stats, Logan was held to 174 yards rushing.
Yeah, that little, non-physical back did a pretty decent job last night.
Well, and one run that was just kind of electrifying there, and haven't had a chance to go back and watch it, on the recording yet, but felt like we just got a bunch of people blocked on that, and Logan just kept finding places to run to.
Yeah, there was some, obviously on the offensive line, we got on guys where Logan could get in that second level, and then, I think Clayton Wolford got a block on somebody. Camden, sorry. Yeah, I'll do that 100 times. There was a receiver, I can't remember who it was, that got on somebody that kind of sprung him to our sideline. And, that's a big momentum shifting play. And, Logan, he's not, a burner and not going to, run away from everybody, but he does a great job of he's got a good knack of making a cut and finding the running lane. He's got really good vision, and that was on display there. His feet are constantly moving, and a good physical run.
Well, he just never goes down on that first contact.
No, and that when you've got that, you don't always have to fit everything up front perfectly because, he can make a guy miss, and that helps us out, obviously.
Well, you guys were able to create some turnovers early, had some opportunities. Probably feel like you probably should have scored some more points last night, but with the defense doing its thing, you didn't need a whole lot.
Yeah, absolutely, and we've got to, we've got to cash in there and get away with some points, and that's. We got lucky it didn't come back to bite us last night, but down the line it will. And it's like Coach Stown said, it's not big, huge things. It's a couple of little things. If we can get corrected and firmed up, that'll hopefully, we can start cashing in on those opportunities. But another thing that was big in that ball game last night was Blake Vibrett. And punting and keeping them pinned back and playing field position. That was a big part of the game, and obviously the field goal late in the game there was huge.
Well, I was going to bring up Blake because I'm pretty sure he kicked one of those left-footed. He did.
Yes.
He did.
Yes, he did. So that just shows you.
And then he talks about it nonchalant, like everybody should be able to do that.
Just kick with either
foot,
foot,
the
right?
one I kicked left-footed. I'm like, yeah, that one.
That play was unique because he's probably one of the best all-around athletes we have on the team, in all honesty. Oh, yeah. And we were kidding with him after the game, sitting outside the locker room, and I said, Blake, I don't think there was anybody on that left side of Crittenden that could have caught you. He had got the corner. He said, well, Coach Sons, I just thought if I didn't get it, I said, well, you did right, man. But it was neat to see. He rolled out there, and I looked at Wayne, we were both up. I said, I think he just kicked that thing left-footed.
Well, as a soccer player, though, they pride themselves in being able to use, each foot. So it probably wasn't anything to him to drop it and kick it with the left foot. But
I've actually seen him kick field goals at practice left-footed.
Really?
Not the longer ones, but, yeah, he can knock it through left-footed. So.
Wow.
Pretty impressive.
He went to a couple camps and ran a pretty nice 40 time. I said, you're going to keep running 40 yards at these kicker camps. They're going to put you in the wide receiver.
Yeah.
You're 6'2" and run a 4.5 40. They're going to be like, well, maybe we don't need him as a kicker.
I've noticed at times at practice and even before games, he'll be out there throwing the football. So I'm wondering when he's going to be unleashed on one of these puck plays.
Coach Reed may let us have him after the soccer season, though.
Yeah. I'm sure he thinks he's ready to sling one.
Just one touchdown last night, though. I think it was the first play of the second quarter. Jameis Carnahan, a 5-yard pass from Jack Stevens. Put you guys up 6-0, and as things played out, that was really about all the points you needed. But surprisingly, fourth game of the year, first touchdown pass of the season, but you guys kind of diversifying a little bit more as the season goes along.
Yeah, that was good to get that touchdown, and that was kind of at the quarter break. Coach Sound said something about that was like a little rub play we've got to Jameis, and Coach Sound said something about, hey, let's run a rub here. And then Josh Young actually said, hey, let's go to this particular one. I think it would be a good look. And, that's why we pay all these guys, all the big bucks they get to coach is to make touchdown calls. So that's been really good offensively, is to have those guys on the headset, and how knowledgeable they are. It makes it a lot easier.
Well, and we've talked a lot about maybe a few struggles in the offensive game and not finishing some of those drives. At the same time, though, Crittenden County pretty good defensively. I mean, they were able to shut you guys down, some in the running game, especially early.
Yeah, they, Coach Courtney is a really good football coach, and really the last 2 years he's done a great job getting them prepared and playing well enough to probably give themselves a chance to win the game the last 2 years. And credit to them, they played really hard, and I think that was probably an emphasis after last week's game against Madisonville. And, they played really physical up front and did some things that gave us some problems. But we were able to adjust a little bit in that third and fourth quarter to get some runs and get 5 and 6, and then we're able to break off some big ones too. So that was a really good job up front, just staying after it, not getting frustrated.
Looking at the stats sheet from last night, a couple of things kind of stand out. First of all, Time of possession again. 4 weeks in a row, you guys have won time of possession.
Well, I know somebody in this room is super happy. The guy behind the mic over there, for sure.
And I do think last night that that was a big part of it. Not always is it, but I think last night it was a big part of being able to win, because we were able to keep some drives going, especially there in the fourth quarter. We kind of shot ourselves in the foot with some penalties that weren't very smart, but we were able. I think we ran 5-6 minutes off the clock at least there in the fourth quarter, which was huge when you're up 2 scores. It makes that just a little bit harder for them to come back. So last night it probably did pay off a little bit.
Well, and I just think the way you guys are playing this year, it probably means a little more. You guys had the ball for almost 28 and a half minutes last night, and if you don't give the other team very many chances, defense can have a little easier night trying to keep them out of the end zone.
Yeah, we were better on third down last night than we have been, probably in the last 2 years. So, that's a big part of that too, is, getting to third down. And, a lot of times we were in third and manageable down and distances. So when we can do that, we can move, convert those and get first downs and continue drives, even if you don't get points out of it. Running some clock there when you've got a lead is really important too.
Well, and sometimes you look at the stats and they don't really correlate to how the game was played, but one big thing last night was third down conversions. Caldwell was 8 of 17. Crittenden County was 3 for 13.
Yeah.
So that's pretty big.
Yeah, and really we probably need to be a little bit better, but that's better than it has been. So, you're looking at extending drives there, holding the ball, and then defensively, getting to third down and getting off the field is huge, especially when we had them in some bad field position. Making them punt backed up where we get really good field position is a really big deal. And I would say a lot. We had quite a few 3 and outs defensively, which played a big part of the game too.
And Wayne, on the defensive side of things, I think Crittenden only got in the red zone once last night. I think the last 2 years they've only been in the red zone twice against us. So
wow.
That's pretty strong effort by the defense.
Yeah, absolutely. You don't those guys start to get close, and if they start to get close to the red zone, you definitely have to, as a defense, be a little more on your game, more detailed. Because one big play, or if you miss an assignment, it's a touchdown. You don't have 50 or 60 yards to defend, and it's a little bit different once they get down the red zone on you. So, there again, making plays when we need to make plays. It was an all-night battle, but there again, if you got to make the play, you got to make the plays.
Well, and you guys were good enough defensively against the run last night that I think Crittenden County just kind of abandoned it late, and you guys kind of knew the passing game was coming.
Absolutely, and there again, like I spoke earlier, is them throwing the ball around with the screen game, and just trying to beat you over the top with a couple of those kids. We knew then we had to kind of lock in and be aware of pass game, and I think it kind of allowed our kids to focus more on them, passing the ball, and our guys up front knowing they had to get a little pressure and keep that kid contained.
9-0, the Caldwell County victory last night at Crittenden County. Will Barnes, Wayne McGowan, Bradley Stallings, and Jeff Riley all in the studio with us this morning on Saturday Morning Quarterback. We need to get to a timeout on the show, but we'll continue with more after this here on 1580, 103.3 WPKY.
Your local McDonald's wants you to know that they are ready to serve you for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Dine-in or the drive-thru is always open, and they offer curbside pickup service. To avoid the wait in the drive-thru, you can download the McDonald's app and try curbside pickup. Stop in soon and enjoy breakfast, lunch, or dinner at your local McDonald's. Proud to be a part of this community. McDonald's of Princeton, proud supporters of the Caldwell County Tigers.
You Ride in Princeton just might buy your vehicle. They are always looking for quality inventory. So if you would like to sell yours, talk to the nice folks at You Ride. Whether you're looking to buy or sell, You Ride is here. They are hometown proud and here to deliver the same great customer service they always have. Stop by or call for an appointment with one of their sales specialists. Call 270-365-3018. On the lot financing is available. You can even apply online at youridesales.com. You Ride on the Marion Road in Princeton. Hometown proud.
Panera believes in saying yes. Yes to clean, fresh ingredients. Yes to the new chicken sausage and pepperoni flatbread topped with rich mozzarella. Yes to delicious mac and cheese. Yes to putting it on a sandwich, creating the grilled mac and cheese sandwich. And yes to impromptu road trips to Sandwich, Illinois. Because that's living life to the flavor fullest. Get free delivery when you order on our app through September 14th. Panera. Live your yes. Pricing and product availability may vary. Visit PaneraBread.com.
Your life, your hopes, your passions. These things are none of our business. Your deodorant rash, your favorite cheese, and whatever you were searching for at 1:15 a.m., that's really none of our business. Because your life is private. And unlike other tech companies, we think your internet should be too. Oh, what kind of talk is that? That's none of our business either. Protect your privacy online for free with DuckDuckGo. DuckDuckGo. Privacy simplified.
Enter the Titans Ticket Giveaway for your chance to win a pair of club-level tickets and parking pass to one of the Titans home games this season. Head over to WPKYonline.com to enter. The Titans Ticket Giveaway is brought to you by Ace Drywall and Acoustical, Hancock's Neighborhood Market, Rooms for Less, Dreamfield Lending, and Davo's Burgers and Fries.
The Saturday Morning Quarterback Show continues on WPKY. Here's your host, Todd Griffin.
Caldwell County with a 9-0 victory at Crittenden County last night. Tigers now 2-2 on the season. We're back on Saturday Morning Quarterback with coaches Will Barnes, Wayne McGowan, Bradley Stallings, Jeff Riley, all in the studio with us after the big win last night. And guys, I was just talking about Logan Smiley's big game, and our stats had him with 131 yards in the second half last night.
Yeah, and that's when you get a lead and you get late into the ball game, you want to be able to try to ice that thing with the run game, and obviously that's got a lot to do with what we're doing up front. And Logan does a great job. We talked about that earlier. 30 carries and 170 whatever yards. Just a great effort from him, and he'll show up Monday. And he'll want to go full gear, and he'll want to go 100 miles an hour, and that's why he can carry it 30 times and withstand the constant hitting. And he'll be ready to go Monday, and he'll be fired up for Union County next week. And just a great leader on our team, and he's a really good example for some of these younger running backs and skill players we've got of what it takes to play at the varsity level. And just really proud of him. Was kind of disappointed. He had a bad break with the injury last year. He would have been a bigger part of the team than he, offensively than he was. So it's been good to have him from the get-go this year, and he's a really special talent.
Wayne, you had some big games running the football for Caldwell County. How tough is it to carry it 29 or 30 times a game?
It's absolutely tough, especially in my era when you lined up in the I with two tight ends and 9 guys were sitting in the box there waiting on you to get the ball and come and try to tackle you or whatever. And but I'll tell you what, Smiley's been impressive for us this year. The injury last year knocked him out, but the whole time he's been a varsity football player, and a lot of times, he hadn't been at F, our main running back. So, he's picked the ball up and really ran with it, no pun intended. But yeah, he's done a great job for us back there, and he's been, we can count on him, and it's pretty remarkable, just seeing him run the ball, breaking tackles, and his feet are moving. So all the little things, he does all the little things. And that's why he's having such success on the field. And, our guys up front are doing a great job. Those O-linemen are doing good. And, you can't do anything without those guys up front. And, he's very knowledgeable of that, of those guys blocking for him and creating space for him to run.
Did we finally last night have everybody back up front?
Yeah, I think we were full go, finally. Yeah, that's kind of an oddity right now, to have everyone that you expect to have up front. And, that's a good unit. Those kids are a good unit up there. They're interchangeable. We can, we're able to move some kids around if need be, bring a couple younger guys in if need be sometimes, kind of getting their feet wet. But yeah, that bunch up front, they're O linemen, and that's a different breed of people.
Yeah.
O linemen, they are a different breed of people, and we got 6 or 7 kids who can play up there, and we're really proud of those young men.
Well, and Brad, you can speak to the importance of a good offensive line.
Oh, absolutely. And, one of the things that we've done with this group, I mean, it's been COVID necessary, I guess you could say, but I think it's going to benefit us in the long run is, a lot of the younger kids who may not have thought they were going to play a whole lot have had to play an integral role in this. And even last night we had to roll in 2 or 3. So that's going to add depth in a varsity game like that when we need it a lot, So, with a lot of things that we've got going on in a lot of different places, you got to be proud of those kids to step up in a ball game like that, in an atmosphere like that. Especially, we've played Christian County, Hoptown, and Madisonville. Those traditionally are 3 pretty good powers in Western Kentucky football.
And big schools.
And big schools. And, Coach Riley coaches those guys up every day. They're working their tails off down there, and they're working. And, a lot of times, like Coach Mack said and Will said, they're not going to get a lot of credit. My dad was an offensive lineman, and he said, the only time anybody ever hollered our names is when we were in trouble. And so he said, and that holds up, and that's true. And, but those guys were, when they do the great job, it's the skill guys that get the credit.
Yeah.
But it doesn't bother them. They go back right out there in the next series, and they do their job, and they do their job, and they do their job, and. Those guys are working their tails off, and they're going to get better. Crittenden did it. Will was right. Crittenden did a good job of throwing in a couple wrinkles last night with their defense, and they did a good job of game planning for us. But Logan and the guys up front did a really good job of just staying the course and playing 4 quarters, and that's how we got out. And then Will was talking about, Coach Barnes was talking about field position and time of play, like y'all were talking about. The one thing I would like to say is, we may have only put up 9 points, but there were multiple times when they had us pinned to start a drive inside our own 10, and we were able to get out of that and flip the field. It didn't result in a lot of points, but it flipped the field. And then, our punting game was able to pin them, and it seemed like they couldn't get out of that when they needed to, and we were able to. So that's the little things that go kind of unnoticed in the stats. So, I thought our offensive line did a pretty good job with that, getting us being backed in.
Yeah. I think we've kind of gotten spoiled from an offensive standpoint, that we've seen 40 and 50-point games for so long that we just anticipate, always putting a lot of points up. But, Will, you can talk about this some too, that sometimes if you have a really good defense, running the ball 3 plays and running your punter out there and kicking it 50 yards is a good offensive series.
Yeah, Coach Franklin has been, a great mentor and family friend and all of those things, and does a outstanding job helping any of us when we need something. And one of his things is, when you're pretty good defensively, your goal offensively is not to screw it up. So that was. I about screwed it up last night, on 4th down there, putting us in a bad situation, but our defense responded. And, when you're playing good defense, you don't have to score 40 and 50. You can score 14, 21, 28, and have a chance to win.
But you kind of knew going into the season, if you guys could score 21 or 24 points a game, you were probably going to win most of those.
Yeah, against most people, I think, that's going to get it done. Against some of them, it's probably not. But, we're not that as far off as it may seem in the stat sheet and the scoring totals from scoring, 28 to 35, really. But the bottom line is, we can sit here and say we should be doing this or that. Until it gets fixed and changes, we are what we are how we play, So we've got a long way to go. Play calling could be, has got to get better. Got to clean some things up front. Receiver play's got to get a little better. We got to play better at the quarterback position. So it's a whole team effort to get better on offense.
But the great thing about football is there's more than one way to win a football game.
That is very true.
And the goal is to have one more point than the other guys at the end, right?
Yes, and
So
we were able to do that last night, and it was good enough last night. And you're right. It doesn't matter if we score 60 if the other team scores 61. That's not very good. So we scored 9 last night, and 9 was good enough. So that's good. We need to be happy.
We have seen the 80-62 games in the past, though.
Go to a football game, a track meet broke out. That's what that was.
Well, the difference is I remember leaving Marion last night about 9:30 after that game, and the Callaway game, that was the 80-62 game. It was about 11:30 when we got to Murray that night. So running the football goes a little quicker.
Yeah.
Speaking of big scores, looking at the scoreboard a little bit from last night, Hopkins County Central with a 54-52 victory over Todd County Central in double overtime. And the interesting part of that game, actually, Todd was up 46-38 late in that game, but fumbled, and Hopkins Central was able to score late, get the 2, get to overtime. But in the second overtime, Todd County scored a touchdown to cut it to 2, 54-52. Got an unsportsmanlike call for, I guess, their celebration after the touchdown. That put the 2-point try from the 3-yard line to the 18. Hopkins Central knocked down a pass and won the game 54-52. And tough way to lose if you're Todd County Central, but, Will, like I said, we've kind of seen some of those back and forth games with a lot of points.
Yeah, that, oh, man, I can't imagine. I can't imagine.
Ooh. And Madisonville kind of making you guys look pretty good right now. They beat Christian County 44-14 last night. So Madisonville's on a bit of a roll after you guys beat them.
Yeah, and I thought they had a pretty good team, and really after playing them, I thought they could beat Christian. Obviously, by that margin surprises me a little bit, but they've got some pretty good pieces on that team, and with a new coach still finding their way, and it kind of looks like they're hitting their stride a little bit. So it'll be interesting to see how their season shakes out.
Well, and it's still a little difficult to get a read on some teams because, like we were talking earlier, you don't know how healthy everyone is or who they have each game or what the situation is. If your quarterback's out that week or a key player, it's going to make a difference.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're exactly right. You can't read it. You can't read into scores any year, but especially this year because, like you said, you just have no idea who played and who didn't.
One team that is apparently pretty good this season is Union County. The Braves beat Murray 53-28 last night, and Union County 4-0. And hey, we'll get to see the Braves next week.
Yeah, we watched them against Madisonville, and they beat Madisonville 28-0. And from what I saw, one of the better Union County teams I've seen in a while. And got good linemen, good skill. They're really good, and I think they've got some kids back for a 5th year, which helps with experience and building a little bit of depth. So it'll be a really big challenge for us next week.
Union County is another team that's kind of like Crittenden County a little bit. You guys have kind of had their number in recent years, but I think this year people are probably going to look at that Union County team as one of the better ones they've had in at least a decade, if not longer.
Yeah, they do have a good team, and I think they could make a run in that 3A district because they've got the line play on both sides of the ball, and they've got really good skill too. At all, it's not just 1 or 2 kids. They've got any kid they roll out there can play. So, I think they'll have a really good year.
Mayfield beat McCracken County 32-14 last night, so Mayfield on a bit of a roll this year, and that was not unexpected either.
No, they've got some kids back, and they've the thing they've got is they've got some depth at all positions, which helps, and they're really good, well coached, and not too surprising.
Ballard Memorial is coming up on the Tiger schedule. The Bombers falling last night to Fulton County 8-0. Another game, Trigg County over Fort Campbell 48-16. So both of those teams are coming up on the Tiger schedule. So again, some interesting scores. Don't know what to read into them, but
Yeah, it seems, Trigg County, I think, is improving, and they'll be a lot better, and things look to be going in the right direction there. So, and don't know much about Fort Campbell. I think last night was their first game, so we'll see both of those teams in the coming weeks.
Well, and Fort Campbell is a team that didn't even get to play last year because of COVID. That had to hurt from an advancement standpoint as far as the program goes. I think they were struggling to get kids involved anyway, and then you don't have a team for a year.
Yeah, that's tough, and hate it for those kids and coaches. It's just a really tough situation to be in.
Caldwell County with a big win at Crittenden County, 9-0 last night. Wayne, we talked a little bit earlier about the defense. Crittenden County getting to the red zone one time. They got the ball down to the 7 one time, 3 incomplete passes, and turned the ball over on downs. And I think it gets tough once you get down there close to, they were trying to go to the passing game almost exclusively there, and there's not a whole lot of room to work with when you get down that close to the end zone sometimes.
Yeah, I guess it's advantageous on both sides. At some point, you do have a smaller space to defend, but however, one little mess up and, those guys could be in the end zone on you. But, that time in the game, where we were on the field, all that stuff, is big factors. So we were able to make the plays when we made the plays, and that's all that matters.
Again, 9-0 the final score last night. Will Barnes, Wayne McGowan, Bradley Stallings, Jeff Riley all in the studio with us this morning. We need to get to another break here on Saturday Morning Quarterback, but we'll be back with more after this here on 1580, 103.3 WPKY.
New look. Download now. SportsEdge.com. More than just social media posts. A gold standard.
The season's on the
Download or update today. More stories. Video. Nobody does it like we do. SportsEdge.com.
Planters Bank, located at 208 North Jefferson Street, is locally owned and operated with a strong, sincere focus on customer service. Planters Bank has a diverse team of seasoned professionals in Western Kentucky and Clarksville, Tennessee. Since first opening their doors, Planters Bank has made a name for itself as an energetic player in the financial services market. Stop by and talk to the friendly folks at Planters and find out about the You Choose Rewards program. Planters Bank, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Fortner Gas is a full-service propane company offering services in Western Kentucky. You'll find offices located in Princeton and Cadiz. They're your local and family-owned propane supplier. Browse their website and discover the many services and products available to you at Fortner Gas. You can shop in person or online, and they can answer any and all questions in person or on the phone. If they are already your propane supplier, they say thank you. If not, they'd love to be. Contact Fortner Gas Company, a family tradition of service since 1951.
Life is filled with moments. Moments we share with those we love, worry about, and strive to protect the most. At Woodman Life, we provide life insurance and retirement products to help protect you and your family so that you can enjoy all the moments to come.
This is Josh Ray, your local Woodman Life agent. Come see us at 1009 West Main Street or give us a call at 365-6111.
Certain eligibility and age restrictions apply. Woodman of the World Life Insurance Society, Omaha, Nebraska.
Chick-fil-A of Hopkinsville wants to salute the outstanding achievements of our area student athlete. Each week, a student athlete will be chosen based on academics, athletics, and achievements. Watch for the Chick-fil-A AAA Young Person of the Week at yoursportsedge.com. Academics, athletics, and achievements. The Chick-fil-A AAA Young Person of the Week at yoursportsedge.com.
Tonight. Touchdown! 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 Kentucky! I love this team.
Coach Stoops and the Cats begin SEC play under the lights at Kroger Field. Missouri Tigers and your Kentucky Wildcats.
This afternoon, tune in to the Wildcats battling the Mizzou Tigers. Airtime at 4:30 on WKDZRadio.com and
106.5 WKDZ.
At the Edge Media Group, we're looking for a highly creative person to become our next marketing specialist on our sales team. Our mission is to help local small businesses grow. We use our radio stations as well as all of our digital marketing products to create promotions that provide tremendous results for our clients. The position offers excellent earnings opportunity in a progressive, fast-paced environment. If this sounds interesting to you, email your resume to me, Amy Berry, at aberry@oldies1480.com.
The WPKY News Edge is committed to keep you informed. Each weekday, they'll email you the top news and sports story of the day for free. No subscription fee. To sign up, click on the news tab at WPKYonline.com to sign up today. Sign up and receive these information updates for free to your email inbox. To sign up, click on the news tab at WPKYonline.com.
More than just social media posts, coverage of your team with a stylish new look and a great new free app, which you need to download or update to now. Get the story with pictures and video like nowhere else. Download now from the crew you know as the area sports leader at yoursportsedge.com. Nowhere else. We are the champions. New app, new look, the gold standard. Yoursportsedge.com. We are the champions. Download now. Yoursportsedge.com.
The Saturday Morning Quarterback Show continues on WPKY. Here's your host, Todd Griffin.
Caldwell County picking up a 9-0 victory last night at Crittenden County. The Tigers now 2-2 on the season. Caldwell coaches Will Barnes and Jeff Riley, Bradley Stallings, Wayne McGowan all in the studio with us this morning. Actually a big day today for Caldwell County sports. Lady Tiger Volleyball hosting Todd County Central out at the Cab at 10 o'clock. And there's football on tap. Junior pro teams are over at Webster County today. Middle school football is at Graves County today. So, Will, there's always something going on.
Yeah, and, this summer we were able to do the youth camp that we've done in the past, and we're able to see, get to know some of those younger guys that are in junior pro, and honestly, I probably got more out of it than they did. It was I had a lot of fun doing that and meeting some of those kids, and glad I've seen some of them since, and they're excited about playing football. So glad those guys are getting going. I think there's some pretty good players in those on those junior pro teams. So looking forward to watching them when they get out here to our place, and then. Our middle school teams are having good seasons, and really excited about those teams and how they look. And, we're really fortunate to have a good program at all levels, I feel like.
You guys have some good younger kids on the team, and then when you look at those middle schoolers coming up, I mean, I think there's hope for the future that this run's just going to keep on going.
I sure hope so, and just watching some of those middle school kids practice every day, and I've seen them play once. If they'll continue to get better and are coachable, they'll have a chance to be pretty good players, and we'll have pretty good teams coming up. So, really excited about those guys.
Yeah, Wayne, those guys are usually down at the other end of the field while you guys are practicing at one end. So
they are. So we kind of get a look at them. They probably don't know we're looking at them, but we are at times. But yeah, it's good. Those guys, Coach K down there, and that staff, they're doing a really good job with those young men. And you just hope that they can mold them, and when we get them, we can just kind of add to what they've learned and, continue the success of Caldwell County football.
Well, and Jeff, I know those middle school kids are probably looking at those high school kids waiting to get their turn up there, too.
Yeah, you hope so. You hope they look down there and see themselves in the same position. We try to interact with those guys a little bit when they come on and off the field, and maybe take a jab at them or two. And the fun part is when you got a big brother on the high school team with the little brother, and you can tell the little brother's going to beat him, and the little brother always likes that too. So we try to have fun with those guys when we can, and I hope they do. I hope they look down there and say, hey, that's going to be me in a couple of years, and they get dedicated and come to us and get in the weight room and, want to keep the tradition alive. That's the idea.
Well, and a good thing is the numbers have always been strong in the junior pro and then middle school, and by the time the guys get to you, you guys have a lot of guys to work with and choose from.
Yeah, my experience is you're going to lose some no matter what. Some kids just decide that they don't want to play anymore for whatever reason. So the bigger the group, the less the attrition affects you. So I think I've always said I would love to have 15 to 20 kids a class, even though it'd be really crowded in the locker room. That would be good, just because you have a lot of depth and a bunch of kids out, and I think that's exciting if you can do that. That's a lofty goal, but sometimes in the middle school numbers you do have 20 kids out of class, and if we get if we get 10 to 15 of those kids every year, then that would give us a pretty good size high school football team, especially for 2A football, and that depth makes a huge difference. So that's kind of what we look for. Hope so. Hope we get all of them. Hope we get every kid that wants to play comes out.
Well, looking ahead to the immediate future, we talked about it a little bit. Union County coming in next week. It's going to be Hall of Fame night, so it's going to be a big night at Tiger Stadium.
Yeah, and that's always a neat night to see those past players get in the Hall of Fame, and hopefully we can put on a good performance and against a really good Union County team.
Do you anticipate practice going well this week after the big win? Do you usually get a kind of boost in practice the next week?
Sometimes I didn't feel like Hopkinsville week was a great week of practice, but if we'll build on last week and continue to get better, and I think we could really have a big jump right here in our season.
I think I asked you this last night after the game, but 4 weeks ago, if you looked ahead, would you think, hey, 2-2 is pretty good and we're still getting better?
Yeah, we'll take it, and if we'll continue to get better, like I've said, I think when we hit district play, we'll be competitive and have a chance to do something. So, yeah, obviously we'd like to be 4-0, but we're 2-2, and it's a lot better than 0-4 or 1-3. So, we just got to keep getting better and coming to practice with the right attitude, and we'll be all right.
9-0, Caldwell County over Crittenden County last night. Guys, appreciate it. Coming in this morning, congratulations on the win, and look forward to a big week next week against Union County.
Yeah, thanks, Todd.
Thanks, Todd.
That is Will Barnes and Wayne McGowan and Bradley Stallings and Jeff Riley, and we appreciate everybody coming in this morning and being on the Sideline Report. Again, the Tigers 2-2 on the season after winning at Crittenden County 9-0 last night. The Tigers continuing their win streak over the Rockets to 12 games now. Again, don't forget Lady Tiger Volleyball getting ready to start out at the Cab this morning. Junior Pro football at Webster County. Middle school football is at Graves County. So lots of sports activities going on. And, of course, Black Patch going on. It's a big day in Princeton. That's going to wrap us up here on Saturday Morning Quarterback. This is Todd Griffin. Thanks a lot for being with us here on 1580, 103.3 WPKY.
You've been listening to the Saturday Morning Quarterback Show with your host, Todd Griffin. For high school sports news from across the area, go to yoursportsedge.com. You're listening to the voice of Caldwell County, 1580, 103.3 WPKY Princeton, an Edge Media Group station.
Fox News, I'm Jessica Stone. Remembrance services have begun at Ground Zero in Manhattan. Family members of the fallen reading the names of the nearly 3,000 who died in the terror attacks 20 years ago today.
Walter Baran, Gerard A. Barbera, Paul Vincent Barbero.
Many more would go on to die because of toxic dust-related illnesses. In Kabul, Afghanistan, the Taliban flag now waves over the U.S. Embassy and the Afghan presidential palace, weeks after the chaotic American withdrawal, returning the terror group to power, the same group that sheltered Osama bin Laden, the architect of the attacks.
The loss of 13 great warriors and the many more who were wounded should never have